Let me tell you something. And like, there's no way they were making it, and Namco basically cut their funding, and they ran out of money. By the end of the game, like, literally there's an area that's just...
Howdy!
Howdy! Howdy!
Thank you all so much for coming tonight. We're very happy to have you. Welcome to the 2023 Spring Student New Works Festival Showcase. We're incredibly happy to have you all here, like I just said. We are really excited to show to y'all what we've been working on for the past 6 to 8 weeks, what our students have written and directed. I'm just ecstatic to see you all here tonight, and we hope that y'all enjoyed the show. In case of an emergency, please enter or exit through the way y'all came in. There's also alternative exits over here and back behind the stage, as well as there will not be an intermission during the show. Last but not least, there is no flash photography allowed during the show, and please silence your cell phones. Without further ado, Alpha Psi Omega National Theater Honor Society at Texas A&M University would like to welcome y'all to the 2023 Spring Student New Work Showcase. Thank you all.
Uncle! Dear Uncle Saxton, are you there? Hello? My word, this place hasn't changed a bit. Just how long has it been? Almost 10 years maybe. I'll be down in a minute. Take as long as you need, Uncle. That's him.
Peter, I thought this house was abandoned. Does your uncle live like this?
Isn't it great? Garbage strewn about, the air thick, like a fog. It's good to be back home.
Remind me, dear, why exactly we came all the way from Cheshire to visit your greasy uncle for a one-night dinner party.
Elaine, this is my childhood home, where I grew up. It's a part of my history, and it's only right that you should finally meet the man who raised me. Uncle Saxton's been very good to me my whole life, and I feel like it's only respectful to come pay him a visit for a dinner party.
Well, yes, but wouldn't it have been easier to fly your uncle out to England? We have more than enough guest rooms at the estate.
I think Uncle Saxton would sooner die than sit on his arse and drink oolong tea 500,000 miles from the land of the free. I say I personally understand we deal with enough British as it is.
Peter, I'm British.
And what an exception you are, my love, as beautiful as the day we were married.
That was only 6 months ago.
I know what I said. Besides, I think Saxton's much more at home right here on Hog Island. Loves it so much he hardly ever leaves. Speaking of the wedding, you remember how we felt about that?
Yes, actually, I do remember. He RSVP'd can't make it on a damp cocktail napkin in a plastic bag.
Well, Uncle Saxton's a total recluse and very eccentric.
It was written in blood, Peter.
And that's not eccentric? Look, all Saxton wants is his peace and quiet, which I have respected since I was but a young boy in trousers. But think, Elaine, if he didn't come up to our wedding and he's invited us here for supper, then whatever he needs to tell us must be of the utmost importance.
Peter, listen to what he was saying. Your uncle, who you haven't seen in years, couldn't give you the decency to show up to your wedding. But when he asks us over for dinner, we drop everything and go. Why should we have to come all the way over here to visit your sad old uncle living in a swamp house?
Elaine, this swamp house is where I grew up. Uncle Saxton raised me. Sure, living here was never easy. And sure, the old house is beat up. And sure, I had to kill a Burmese python with my bare hands on my 9th birthday party after it came up through the floorboards like a demon from hell. But I think of the Everglades as my home. And for a millionaire like Saxton, I think it's quite humble.
Peter, Wait, what did you just say?
I said I think the house is quite humble.
No, the other thing. Did you just say that your Uncle Saxton is a millionaire?
I thought you knew that already.
No, Peter, I didn't know that your uncle who lives in a fishing shack was a millionaire. What? How is your uncle a millionaire?
Uncle Saxton was the biggest hedge fund manager on Wall Street back in the 80s. He made his money and left in the mid-90s. I was right about the time that my parents died. And so here we are.
So, he raised you here, in this swamp, by choice.
He thought it was funny. And boy, was it. I spent my whole life eating bugs and wrestling gators. But when we turned 10, Uncle Saxton surprised us by sending us off to private boarding schools on 2 separate continents. And we never saw him again.
I'm sorry, Peter, you've lost me. Who do you mean by us?
My sister, Elaine, you know, the infamous political activist.
Sister, Peter, you never mentioned that you were
Uncle Saxton! I'm finally home! Peter.
Veronica.
Peter?
Elaine? Lance!
Lance!
Veronica. Veronica, just what do you think you're doing here?
Why, I'm here to see our dear, greasy Uncle Saxton again, of course. Where is that classy old coot, anyhow?
He's upstairs getting ready. Who's that nerd behind you?
Oh, him? This is Lance, my new partner. Say hi to the in-laws, Lance.
In-laws? I'm not married.
Shut up and do it.
Oh boy, am I glad to meet you. That's Peter and Elaine, right? Oh, Veronica's been talking nonstop about the 2 of you. And what horrible things she plans on doing with your student.
Adorable, isn't he? Uncle said I could bring a +1, so I decided to bring along my cellmate. I mean my roommate from college.
I'm sorry, aren't you a little old to be in college?
Not with this country's tuition. In any case, Lance and I are here now to celebrate our big dinner with Uncle Saxton. But I wasn't aware he was also going to be inviting the royal family over to his humble jungle bungalow.
Yeah? Well, I wasn't aware that we'd be dining with low-life criminal scumbags tonight.
Oh, but I thought Uncle Saxton used to work on Wall Street. Well, you said you didn't know we'd be dining with criminals tonight, but Uncle Saxton was a hedge fund manager. The joke, of course, being...
I got it, you little jerk. Veronica, you and I have had our differences in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And it's no surprise that our estranged relationship has only left you bitter and unlikable and deranged.
Yeah.
And slightly uglier than I remember you two. But know this, you are my sister, and I will treat you with the respect of a sibling. We should have peace in honor of Uncle Saxton.
I'm willing to forego our silent but ever-present rivalry in order to see our greasy uncle for dinner tonight. But only for tonight. And speaking of tonight, did Uncle ever tell you what the occasion was? It's not his birthday, is it?
Uncle Saxton used to tell us he doesn't have a birthday.
Is it his secret birthday?
Why would Uncle Saxton have a secret birthday? All right, we can't cross it out as a possibility. Still, I feel like it's got to be something more. It's not even the 10-year anniversary of when he sent us off to school.
Well, whatever it is, we're just going to have to wait and find out. Might as well make ourselves comfortable. Could be hours before he finally... Oh my goodness.
Uncle Saxton's table.
Uncle Saxton's house is falling apart.
Uncle Saxton! Oh, it's so nice to finally meet you. The pleasure's mine.
I don't know who you are, but I sure as hell don't like you already. Get off me! I'm not Saxton!
Then who are you?
And what are you doing in Uncle Saxton's bedchambers?
I'm Mr. Reeds, Saxton's lawyer. You must be his niece and nephew and others. I've been trying to figure out why your uncle has brought me here for the past few hours, but he keeps lecturing me about dead languages.
Classic Uncle Saxton, the dead languages rant. It's iconic.
Can't wait to hear it.
Who cares? Your uncle has completely ruined my agenda today by bringing me to this godforsaken island. And now he wants me to have dinner with you like I'm some second-rate family member.
Oh, welcome to the club, big guy.
Lance, shut up.
Okay.
So, Saxton invited you, but he didn't even mention a reason as to why?
Didn't give me a single reason, just that he wanted me here and that I can't leave. I had kids to feed.
You have kids?
Do you mind?
Wait, you don't suppose he's got some sort of bad news?
Peter, the last time Uncle Saxton had bad news was almost 20 years ago. And unlike Mom and Dad, Uncle Saxton is immortal. He told me so. He told me so.
Wow, I'm not even going to try to unpack that, but it doesn't even remotely surprise me that your uncle would do something like that. He has made me regret ever pursuing a law degree. He pays well, but by God, that man has always been mad.
I think it runs in the family.
The only running done in this family is either for office or, from the law.
Oh, it's so nice to finally meet you, greasy Uncle Saxton!
I'm not your uncle, you little nerd. Did you just call me greasy boy?
Uncle Saxton!
Ah, my little Veronica, all grown up. Look at you. I saw you in the news last week at that little protest in Japan. That prime minister there didn't see that coming.
Uncle, that is my +1, Lance. He'll be joining us for dinner tonight.
And what a lucky man he is. So, tell me, Mr. Logan, just how did you come across my beautiful niece anyhow?
She mugged me in Beirut.
That's what I call love at first sight.
I am also here, Uncle Saxton.
Wow, if it isn't my pride and joy nephew, Peter. Say, how's that science project coming along?
Oh, we are building a Hadron Collider right beneath Parliament.
Wow, big machine. Whatever for?
It seems the British government is trying to revive the Queen.
Now, that just leaves a sour taste in my mouth, but, I'm still proud of you. There's never been an uncle on earth more proud of me than you. And this beautiful dame must be your lovely wife, Elaine. I, must apologize for my absence at your wedding, but you see, I, hate the British.
Yes, I think I got that. And might I say that your home reminds me of the first Shrek movie.
Ah, you flatter me. Isn't she something? Mr. Reeves, I am so glad that you decided to join us for dinner. I make a mean gumbo, and I do mean mean.
Let's just hope dinner this time isn't interrupted by another 2-ton reptile breaking through the floorboards.
It's true. The pythons here on Hog Island are abnormally large. Yes, that may have to do with the fact that I regularly feed them my leftover home-cooked gumbo, but, can you really blame them?
No, I suppose I can't, Mr. Saxton.
The snakes here, much like me, have excellent taste. Now then, I would like you to all take your seats and prepare yourselves for supper supreme. We have much to discuss, and time is of the essence.
Delicious gumbo, Mr. Saxton.
Oh, please, dear. Call me uncle.
No.
Mr. Saxton, if you don't mind my saying, I just find myself a bit at a loss for words tonight.
Is that so? And why is that?
You've invited us all here to have supper with you for seemingly no real occasion, which concerns me immensely.
No real occasion. Is that how you see it?
Well, to be brutally honest with you, Uncle, we've been hard-pressed to know if you were even alive or not after all these years. I mean, we've barely been able to communicate with you this whole time.
It's true. I don't own any form of modern technology aside from that HP printer in my bedroom. And I had to put a bullet in it last Tuesday because it started making weird noises.
I was trying to send you a fax about our meeting this week.
Well, that was a dumb decision. Why didn't you just take the 10 o'clock over to Hog Island?
Because surprisingly enough, Mr. Saxton, the world doesn't revolve around you. And for what purpose would you own a standalone printer if not to send faxes?
All right, I'm hearing a lot of terms right now that I don't know much about, but it sounds like a whole lot of conning nonsense to me.
Why doesn't everyone just leave Uncle Saxton the hell alone and let him do as he pleases? He's dealt with enough communists and printers as it is.
Oh yes, I'm sure your poor Uncle Saxton has had such a hard time living out here, cooking swamp gumbo and feeding his leftovers to wild snakes.
Elaine!
Peter, you know him, right? Mr. Saxton, you haven't shown either your nephew nor your niece damn near the respect that they give to you, and you tote that cigar like you have to care in the world. I'm amazed that a man such as Peter had anything to do with you.
Uncle Saxton is and always has been a living saint. He's as if Socrates had a baby, right? Exactly. What gives you any right to tell him how to act?
I've and in that time, I think I've discovered about 10 or 11 new mental disorders.
Oh, have you?
Well, I've known Saxton for 23 whole minutes, and already I would lay down my life to save him.
Make that 12! And if I remember correctly, your uncle, he was just explaining that time is of the essence, yet he's given not one indication why he's gathered here tonight.
How about I kill you? How about I kill you?
No! Veronica, it's true. I haven't been very respectful to you tonight. Lord, how I've missed you crazy kids. You see, there is a reason I've invited you all here tonight, including my devilishly handsome lawyer. You see, I have something of a surprise prepared for you, and, well, less of a surprise.
Golly, I just love surprises, don't you, Veronica?
Oh. Hey, Larry, would you do me a favor real quick?
Oh, yes, sir.
Would you mind scooting your seat back just a little? Like this? A little more. A little bit more. That is beautiful, Lenny. Thank you. As I was saying, I have some terrible news to share with all of you tonight. I know I haven't been the most present uncle in the world, but I tried to pay for you kids to get the hell off of Hog Island. Live a full life, see the world. And speaking of full lives, it seems that mine's just about done now, on account of smoking so many fat cigars. What?
Huh?
I have terminal lung cancer.
What?
Oh, crazy Uncle Saxton.
Why didn't you tell any of us?
I just did tell you.
You know what we need? I thought you were immortal. How much time do you have left?
I went over to the doctor on the mainland, and he gave me a period of 2 to 3 weeks.
No.
Make no mistake, treatment or no treatment, I will be dead by the end of the month. So I just thought I'd do us all the courtesy of having one last meal in the old house together.
Mr. Saxton, I'm so sorry about earlier.
I don't want to hear it. I did you wrong, leading you all astray. I never did give you kids the life you deserved, even if it was just really funny to raise you both on a swamp island.
I laughed.
I think I've waited too long to tell you both.
Of course, Uncle. This is terrible, terrible news. I'm heartbroken.
Oh, I just hope you won't miss me too much.
But, Uncle, I know you all too well. If you really could have had it your way, you would have passed away without ever telling any of us. There can be only one real reason that you've collected us all here tonight with Mr. Reeds.
Aside the fact that he's drop dead gorgeous, is what is it, huh? Spit it out.
Your will, Uncle. You planned all of this for the will, didn't you?
My will, huh? So I tell you kids, I'm dying
No.
of lung cancer, and all you can ask me is who gets all your stuff, huh? Who gets all your dirty blood money? Who gets your king-size heart-shaped bed, huh? Oh, I love you kids to death. Never change. You see, I had to choose a way to leave my illustrious fortune behind to my dearly beloved relatives, but how to go about such a thing? Of course, I, being the genius that I am, at first decided to leave behind a series of puzzles and riddles with which the two of you would have to compete against in order to find. But I think I stole that off a game from my HP printer, so I decided to just write my will in a dead language instead.
Huh?
You did what?
No.
Yep, I wrote my entire will in Sanskrit. I studied and learned the entire language, and it took me 8 of the 10 years you kids were gone to transcribe my last will and testament onto papyrus. Good luck translating that in the next 8 years. I mean, hey, maybe, just maybe, if you work together, it'll only take 4, by the end of which I will be long dead on account of smoking so many fat cigars.
We can find something that can translate.
Oh, hey, I can read Sanskrit.
What?
What?
Oh, yeah. It's not that hard. I mean, I learned because I thought it would look good on a resume, but I guess that doesn't matter anymore. Now that I'm a criminal.
Lance, darling,
Don't say another word, Veronica. Just promise me if you do get everything, the money, the perfect house, the queen-sized, heart-shaped bed, I mean, your international crime spree has to stop.
Lance, you have no right to... All right, fine, I promise.
And who's to say? How do we know that your Uncle Saxton didn't leave everything to his strapping and handsome young nephew?
Yeah. Or your uncle did the reasonable human thing and split it between the two of you 50-50. Now, the reading of the will is typically preserved for a lawyer. I don't really care anymore. Mr. Lance, if you would.
Blah, 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 last will and testament, all worldly possessions. You misspelled the Sanskrit term for a big wet house here? Here we go. Hereby leave all assets, liquidated and physical, to... Oh! Betty White Memorial Children's Hospital of Coral Terrace.
You misspelled
Read
my
that again.
name.
No, that's not right. That can't be right.
What?
No, that's not right. No.
Memorial
You got me.
Hospital.
I left all my money, all 632 million, to the Hog Mainland Children's Hospital.
Hog Mainland.
Yeah.
You just mean mainland Florida. Stop saying Hog Island. We're in the Everglades. And you promised to pay me $500,000 to be here tonight. Were you lying about that too?
Uncle, I just don't understand. I mean, by all means, go and donate your money to organizations that need it, really, but
You were prepared to let us spend the next 4 to 8 years of our lives trying to decipher your will, just so we wouldn't see a penny of what you own.
Oh, you're gonna love this next part. Seeing as how you already ruined the will bit, I was planning on faking my death the whole time. Then I'd show up in a couple of years at the will reading, just for you kids to find out the money wouldn't be going anywhere.
So, you're not dying from lung cancer?
Dying? I've never been healthier in my life. The swamp air of Hog Island has never agreed more with a man than your dear Uncle Saxton.
Let's go.
Yes,
Oh, come on now, where you going? That was pretty funny. Peter, come on. Come on, tell me more about the hadron thing. Come on. Veronica.
you're pathetic.
Mr. Reed? Well, I hope they enjoyed the supper.
for the night. Pass me that bit of flint over there. It's the black one.
How am I supposed to find the stupid flint?
It's the black one.
They all look dark dimwit at sunset.
Or not.
I heard that, Nomad.
So you have ears, Princess. Congratulations.
Don't patronize me like that.
Like what?
Like that! Acting like I'm stupid or something. Acting like you're better than me because you know what you're doing.
I didn't say that.
But you implied it.
What do you mean?
I mean, you implied that I was stupid. It was in your tone of voice. You despise me, don't you? You uncivilized buffoon.
No, what does implied mean?
Oh, don't play dumb on me.
I'm not playing.
Well, okay. It means you say something without actually saying it. It's the way you say it. Like, the words you mean don't come out, but they're still there. Like if I were to tell you that I don't appreciate your attitude, I could imply that I think you're being very childish.
Why not just say that I'm being childish?
It's how adults talk to children when they want to say something nasty but don't want to openly say it. You know, it's the more mature route to take.
I'm sure your parents did that all the time around you, huh?
That's very impertinent.
Yeah, well, so are you.
Don't you realize you're talking to a princess? Look, I know things may be a little different for you out here, Nomad, but back where I'm from, where people are normal, we treat princesses with respect.
Oh, and I'm the problem here?
Yes, you are. You are aware that you've essentially kidnapped me, are you not? Who do you think you are, grabbing my wrist like that? You know, you could be hanged for treason.
You had an assassin behind you, or did you not notice him stumbling off in your imagination like that? I saved your life.
Saved my life? Are you serious? That's what you call that? You nearly ripped my arm off dragging me through the forest like that, you freaking buffoon.
Well, which would you rather lose, your arm or your life?
That's not the point.
Then what is?
Look at you, acting like you had anything to do with any of this. Do you think you were in control back there? Because you weren't. Do you think you were trying to rescue a damsel in distress or something? Because you weren't. I'm not a damsel, and I'm certainly not in distress.
I didn't say you were.
But you implied it.
Again with the implying. Why can't you just focus on what I actually said?
Maybe because you say one thing and then show me another?
And that means?
By grabbing my wrist, you were attempting to assert dominance over me, like some
I saved your life!
I don't need your help!
So you could have taken that archer all by yourself, huh? What about the guy with the knife in the bushes? All good with that too?
Do you even understand what I'm saying to you, Oaf?
Any preference on how you like your venison cooked, your royal penis?
Just have to get the last word, don't you?
It was just a question.
A sarcastic question that didn't need to be asked. Empty barrels.
What?
Empty barrels. You know the saying? Empty barrels make the most noise. You've got nothing between those ears of yours. Nothing at all in that thick skull, so you just have to say something. Can't go being bested by a woman, can you?
I have a brain, you know.
Not a very good one, clearly. Or at least not very quick.
That's very disrespectful.
Why should I respect you?
Because respect is a two-way street.
Your mother teach you that one? Are you proud of yourself, little Nomad?
Hey! Leave my mother out of this.
Why? Afraid she'd be ashamed of you? Don't want your memory of her to be tarnished thinking about how she'd react, how awfully you've turned out.
I'm not telling you again. That's uncalled for.
So is grabbing me at the wrist and dragging me off into the forest. Didn't you think about what that felt like? What that looked like? Large, savage forest man sprinting out of the tree line and grabbing a princess? I've never seen you before in my life.
I saved your life.
I don't need your help. I don't need anyone's help. I'm gonna be a future queen. I don't need the help of some stupid, uneducated forest man that doesn't know when to shut his stupid mouth.
I'm sorry. I wasn't aware I wasn't allowed to save your life from assassins.
Stop saying you saved my life!
Well, when it stops being true, I will. Look, you'll get used to the forest eventually. I did.
we've been out here.
Like 15 years or so.
So you would know all about getting used to the force then, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Well, you know how I said earlier that things were different for us normal people?
I mean, it's not like I could forget.
Alright, well, in the normal world, us normal people listen to experts. And you're clearly the expert here. I'll give you more benefit of the doubt.
Okay, I appreciate that, I guess.
Look, I owe you an apology. I shouldn't have called you those names. I'm sorry I was being so impertinent.
Look, you're stressed, I get it.
I thought you'd been a force man for 15 years. How'd you know that?
Human body language isn't that different from animal body language?
Huh.
Look, I'm sorry too.
Why? I'm the one that started all this.
Yeah, well, I'm the one finishing it.
Guess your barrel isn't so empty after all.
Yeah, I guess not.
Are you still sure this is the best idea? I mean, we could always just ask him questions normally. He seems like a nice enough guy, right?
Jay, the guy's a total sleaze bag. He's not going to tell us a thing. We're going to have to pry what we need out of him.
Then what, we need pliers?
No, we're not going to be prying like that.
Do you think we'll get arrested?
No, Jay, we can't get arrested if we're not caught. And we won't have to worry about that as long as we keep our masks on. He's never going to know what hit him. Put your mask on. Okay. Ready? Now wake him up. What the hell? Who are you? Where am I? Did you tie me to this chair using Scotch tape? No, it's packing tape, so don't even try it.
Well, why didn't you just use rope? I mean, you brought rope, right? Who doesn't bring rope to a kidnapping or whatever the hell this is?
We'll be asking the questions here, Klaus.
Jay, we were not supposed to hit him yet.
I thought we were at that part already.
No, we just started. We're not at that part yet.
This isn't the part where the guy interrogating us makes fun of us, so we hit him to establish dominance?
What do you think this is? Last night's episode of Law and Order?
No, I just thought...
Look, you have to ask him a question first. Now, we've heard that you've been making the rounds here with a lot of female employees. Tell us who.
Well, I mean, yeah, I have to go around every couple of weeks to all the departments to pick up their reports. So there's Becky, Mary, Terry, Philip, April.
That's not what I meant.
Well, then what did you mean?
You know what I mean.
We know you've been sleeping with the other employees. Tell us who.
I don't think I know what you're talking about.
Now, why do I find that hard to believe, Mr. Yorkshire?
Look, I think there's been a misunderstanding. Maybe we got off on the wrong foot. Now, I have been faithful to my wife as long as we've been married. 12 years, I'll have you know.
Sure.
I would never go behind her back and do something so atrocious. The fact that you would even suggest it shows how little you know about me.
Well, we have pictures that prove otherwise.
Who the hell is that? Is that Bill Clinton?
What? Don't crack up.
Did he just say Bill Clinton? You said you would get photos of him sleeping around
I swear, when I climbed the tree, there was a spider, and I saw it and fell, and then by the time I climbed back up, he'd already finished, so I just used what I could find.
Didn't they teach you how to climb in the army?
He couldn't have lasted more than 10 seconds.
Hey, now that is preposterous. That wasn't me. I have great stamina. You idiots probably followed around someone who looks like me, or President Clinton for that matter.
Who also drives a lifted white Ford pickup and wore the exact same tie to one of your employees' houses last night.
Exactly. You see, last night I was with my wife at our house in Cape Cod. I took the red eye to get in this morning.
Cape Cod? You both live in an apartment barely 3 blocks from here.
No, we don't.
Face it, we've got you pinned. Fine. Let's just get this over with. Did you finish hanging up the ceiling hooks in the bathroom?
Sure did. They should be able to hold him up by his toenails for hours.
You're gonna hang me by my toenails?
We sure are. That is, of course, unless you tell us what we want to know.
You can't be serious. I mean, that's not a real thing. People don't do that. It's impossible.
Well, guess you'll just have to find out.
You're bluffing. No one would do something so cruel and unusual. I mean, at least waterboard me first. Straight to toenail hanging seems like a massive jump.
We're not playing around here, Klaus. This is your last chance. Either you tell us everything, or we find out which one of your precious little toenails is the strongest. So what's it going to be?
Did you sleep with my wife?
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did!
No, lughead, I did not!
Why would you admit it? I know you slept with her!
Who is your wife? Jay!
Susan Booker! Did you sleep with Susan Booker?
Susan Booker! You think I slept with Susan Booker? Who is Susan Booker?
Fine. Play dumb. Let's see if we can't find something, or should I say someone, to jog your memory.
Oh!
What is this? Who the hell do you think you are?
It's not important. What's important here
Is this taped?
Yes, it's tape. No, we didn't have time to get roped. What kind of kidnappers don't get roped? Bad ones. Anything else you want to know?
Yes, there is. Are you actually as dumb as your wife makes you out to be?
Jesus, Jay, you're gonna break his jaw!
Good!
Well, if you break his jaw, then he can't answer any more of our questions. Do you still want to know who the father of that boy is?
Well, if you broke his jaw, you certainly saved me a lot of headaches. This idiot does nothing all day but run his mouth. You'd be doing God and everyone else a favor.
So, you know who Susan Booker is?
Yes, and I'm assuming you're Mr. Booker. I could hear you yelling from the other room. You want to know if your wife slept with Mr. Yorkshire, and you're hoping I crack easier than he does.
Yes, and if you don't, Klaus over here won't be the only one hanging by his toenails.
Oh, well, if there was something in it for me, I'd be more than happy to show you Mr. Yorkshire's itinerary.
No, Katie, please don't. I will raise your rent by 10 cents.
You were saying?
You see here? Every block on this piece of paper has a time set aside for someone in the office. 11 a.m. it's Bethany from the mailroom. 11:20, Robert in sales. 12:20 with Mark, 1 with Lucy, and so on, so forth, until he ends his day, like every day, with the janitor from 4 to 5.
Well, when does he see Susan Booker?
That's the thing, he doesn't.
God, I thought for sure it was him.
So did I. Well, we can keep looking, but it seems like a dead end. Jay, we might just have to confront Susan. I don't know who else would know.
Oh, well, I know.
Quiet, you. We are talking. This is a total bust, Jay. I am so sorry. We're just gonna have to find some other way.
William Cooper.
I said quiet. Wait, what?
I said William Cooper, you idiots. He owns a car dealership out in the suburbs. He's usually there in the afternoons. Here's the address.
What? How could you be so sure?
Bethany, from the mailroom, goes through everyone's mail. Tells me all about it over drinks after work.
Well, I guess we have a car dealership to stake out then.
Whoa, wait! There's still a problem of Loghead over here. I'll keep my
my mouth shut if you keep his shut.
Good afternoon, passengers. This is your pre-boarding announcement to flight 99D to London. Please have your boarding pass and identification ready. Boarding will begin in 10 minutes.
Adrian, what are you doing here?
Hey, well, I heard your flight takes off tonight, and I just was hoping to catch you before you left.
Thank you so much. I was worried I wouldn't get to see you before you left, and I wasn't sure I'd be coming back. You really don't know how much this means to me.
This is the final boarding call for passengers booked on flight 99D to London. Please proceed on gate 3 immediately. The final checks are complete, and the captain will order for the doors of the aircraft to close in 5 minutes.
That's my flight. It was really nice seeing you again. Bye.
Hey, wait. I didn't just come here to say goodbye. There's something I have to tell you.
Please, Adrian, I know what comes next after that sentence, and now is not a good time.
I know we talked and we both decided that it would be for the best if we ended things, but I couldn't be happy with myself if I didn't at least try to change your mind. I don't care where you are on Earth, there has to be some way, something that we can work out that doesn't involve us never seeing each other again.
Oh, Adrian, of course we'd see each other again. I never wanted that, but we both need to realize how impossible the distance makes continuing what we had. Goodbye, Adrian. Thanks for seeing me one last time.
It's clear by now that you've noticed the time has stopped. Nobody can hear this conversation. And to anyone watching you, it will simply seem as if you're standing still. Do not be frightened by my appearance. I've come in good faith to help you in your time of need.
Who are you?
I'm similar to what your kind would call a guardian angel. In times of incredible anguish, I come to those who are suffering and offer assistance in ways that some would call supernatural. In short, something awful must have happened to you very recently to justify my presence here. I find it easiest when dealing with mortals to simply find the problem myself.
Wait, what? What?
I understand now. It's quite rare that I am brought to assist someone whose torment lies mostly in the head, rather than the body. Consider yourself lucky.
Wait, what just happened? Did you look inside my head? What did you see?
I believe I have a solution. While it is clear that your problem is not one that can be solved at this point in time is something I just so happen to have a certain amount of influence over. I shall grant you 3 chances in which I will be able to reverse the flow of time and allow you to speak what you deem to be the correct words to this person who you hold most close to your heart.
I don't know what to say.
I must
Thank you.
warn you, however, my influence over time is not absolute, and for each chance that you take, I can only reverse time so far back. After your 3rd chance, I will not be able to reverse time far enough to prevent the conversation you already had.
I understand it, and I'm grateful, but, well, how will I know when time is reversed?
Good afternoon, passengers. This is your pre-boarding announcement for flight 99D to London. Please have your boarding pass and identification ready. Boarding will begin in 10 minutes.
Marinette.
I was so worried I wouldn't get to see you before you left. When we last talked, I felt like you never wanted to see me again. But you seem to be doing much better now. How have you been?
Yeah, okay, but please listen. I don't care where you are on Earth. I can't be apart from you. I don't care about London or, please, just. Please don't go. We can work something out. You can come for the vacations. I can fly to London for spring break, and you can come to New York for Christmas and summer. Please, we can make this work.
Wait,
And
what?
I know that it sounds difficult, but if anyone can make this work, it's us. We can call and text a bunch, and I'll write you letters, and
Adrian,
I'll write you a letter every single day, and you can write one back. And when we're back together, we can spend all our time together. And
Oh, Adrian, God, please, you're beginning to scare me. I love you so much, and this decision isn't necessarily easy for either of us, but why is the thought of us not being together so terrifying for you?
Wait, please.
This is the final boarding call for passengers booked on flight 99D to London. Please proceed down gate 3 immediately. The final checks are complete, and the captain will order for the doors of the aircraft to close in 5 minutes.
This time apart is something we both need. I'm sure of it now. I'm not saying that this is the end, but there are some clear issues that we both need to work on. Goodbye, Adrian.
I must say, I'm impressed that you had such a detailed plan ready to present. It's clear you've been trying to work this problem in your head for quite some time now.
It feels like this whole idea has just been a massive mistake. I think that I could come here and surprise her and tell her how I felt as if that would change anything. No, there has to be something beyond just how I feel. Because otherwise, why would you be here?
I will not prohibit you from speaking to Marionette of my existence, though in my experience, speaking of the supernatural to those who have not witnessed it firsthand usually does not bring about desired expectations. Heed my warning well, Adrian. I will not be able to reverse time as far back as I did the first time.
Marina, I know what you're going to say. You'll thank me for coming to see you, and then you'll ask me how I've been since we haven't talked like at all this summer. And then before long, the final announcement for your flight.
This is the final boarding call for passengers booked on flight 99D to London. Please proceed down gate 3 immediately. The final checks are complete, and the captain will order for the doors of the aircraft to close in 5 minutes.
I know these things because I've had this conversation with you twice now, and both times these same things have happened. And both times I've tried to get you to stay based on our history or logic or something. Both times I failed. And as you leave, I am confronted by a supernatural entity who tells me that he can rewind time in order to give me another chance to talk to you.
I'm sorry. So, according to what you just told me, this is your third time now having this conversation with me, right? Okay. So, instead of recognizing that there's no way to keep us together,
But
you decided to explain this fantastic phenomenon that has allowed you to break the laws of physics in order for you to talk to me again?
please, right there. I know it sounds crazy, but please. I'm trying to explain that we're destined to be together. That the universe is giving me these chances in order to make that happen.
If we're destined to be together, then we will be. You don't need to sell me a fairy tale in order to make me believe that. What I do know is that we can't be together right now, even if we will be eventually.
You don't need to take this last chance. There are many that don't.
I guess things could have gone worse, right? This conversation, I think, went better than the previous two. There's one more thing I want to try. I don't know if it'll work, but it would leave me at peace. Baronet,
I was so worried I wouldn't get to see you before I left.
I don't care where you are. I will do anything to be with you. I don't care about New York or London or college or anything else beyond that. Everything in this universe pales in comparison to you. I'll get a job in London. I'll work while you attend school. Anything that would allow me to be with you again.
I can never ask you to abandon everything for me like that.
You wouldn't have to ask. I never want to be apart from you. There's nothing on this earth that I want more than to be with you, and I know that with 100% certainty.
Moving to a new country like this is so scary, and I was so worried that you would never want to talk to me again after I left. I know nothing about long-distance relationships, Adrian, but seeing you here and offering to leave everything behind just to be with me, it's made it clear. Let's go home together.
I think I understand that. There's no way to keep her from getting on that plane. Not without ruining her life.
This does leave one question, however. What will you do now without any more chances to reverse the flow of time? I cannot get you to a point before you began your conversation.
Could you rewind time just enough for me to say a proper goodbye? You're going to do great in London, or anywhere else for that matter. When the time is right, I'll be here, and hopefully we can try again.
That sounds perfect, Adrian. Thank you for everything.
I don't know what to say. You've done more for me than I could ever ask. I don't know how I can repay you.
Do me the favor of walking out of this airport with me. It's so infrequent that I'm able to walk amongst you. I can only do so in helping those in need.